I'll never forget the day my neighbor, Helen, called me in tears. She'd just gotten a $12,000 bill for a hospital stay she thought was fully covered by her insurance. "I paid those premiums for years," she said. "How could this happen?" Turns out, Helen had skipped reviewing her policy after her husband passed, assuming everything was fine. Sound familiar? If you've ever felt blindsided by a bill, confused by coverage, or just plain overwhelmed by insurance jargon, you're not alone. But here's the good news. The ancient Stoics, thinkers like Seneca and Epictetus, faced their own storms, and their wisdom can help us navigate these modern dilemmas. As Seneca wrote, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Today, let's stop wasting time and money on insurance missteps. Let's talk about 5 common mistakes retirees make, and how Stoicism can turn panic into peace. Let's start with mistake number 1. Clinging to policies out of fear, not logic. Many of us hold on to extra coverage, like that supplemental plan you bought 20 years ago, just because canceling it feels risky. But the Stoics teach us to ask, is this fear rational, or is it a habit? My friend Jim, a retired teacher, was paying $200/month for a dental plan he'd never used. When he finally crunched the numbers, here Alizade paying out of pocket for cleanings would save him $1,800 a year. Stoicism calls this amor fati, loving your fate. Jim embraced the truth, dropped the plan, and now uses those savings for grandkid trips. Then there's mistake number 2, ignoring the fine print until it's too late. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Translation: if you want to be a savvy retiree, read your policy. I know, it's drier than toast. But here's a trick. Use a highlighter to mark coverage limits, exclusions, and renewal terms. My Aunt Ruth did this and spotted a clause excluding her arthritis injections. She switched plans before her next flare-up, saving thousands. Now, before we move on, let me ask, when was the last time you actually talked to your insurance agent? If it's been years, don't worry, we'll tackle that next. A few months back, I met a man named Carl at a community potluck. Carl's 78, a former mechanic, and he told me he'd been paying for 2 Medicare Advantage plans because he thought more coverage is better. He didn't realize it was illegal and unnecessary. That's mistake number 3. Assuming more coverage equals more security. The Stoics called this hubris, overreaching beyond what's rational. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. For most retirees, a single Medicare plan plus a Medigap policy is plenty." Carl dropped the duplicate plan, cut his premiums by 40%, and donated the savings to his grandson's college fund. Which brings us to mistake number 4, letting loyalty overrule reason. Many of us stick with the same insurance company for decades, even when rates climb. But Seneca advised, consult your friends, but first consult wisdom. Every year, compare rates. My neighbor Margaret switched auto insurers after 15 years and saved $600 annually. I felt guilty, like I was breaking up with them. She laughed. But Stoicism taught me loyalty should go both ways. If they're not valuing me, why stay? Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. What if something happens and I'm not covered? That fear drives so many of these mistakes. But here's the Stoic secret. Mistake number 5, prioritizing what if over what is. Epictetus said, "Don't let the future disturb you. You will meet it with the same weapons of reason you use today." Instead of buying a pricey long-term care policy just in case, ask, do I have family support? Home equity? My Uncle Joe used his savings to retrofit his home with grab bars and a ramp, a one-time cost that let him skip expensive coverage. But how do we put this all into practice? Let's talk about the one question that can transform your insurance strategy. Let me tell you about my friend Elaine. At 70, she had 6 insurance policies: life, health, auto, home, cancer, and even pet insurance for her cat, Mr. Whiskers. "I felt like I was paying to protect against every cloud in the sky," she said. Then she read Marcus Aurelius. "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Elaine sat down and asked herself, what's truly essential? She kept home and health insurance, dropped the rest, and saved $3,000 a year. Mr. Whiskers is still thriving, by the way. The question Elaine asked is the same one I'll leave you with. Does this policy protect my peace of mind or rob me of it? If it's the latter, it's time to let go. The Stoics called this apatheia, freedom from unhealthy emotions. For example, if a policy's fine print gives you migraines, simplify. If premiums strain your budget, downsize. My cousin Frank replaced his whole life policy with a term plan, slashed payments by 60%, and said, "I sleep better knowing I'm not overpaying for a maybe." Finally, turn wisdom into action. Set a Stoic insurance hour this month. Gather all policies in one place. Highlight coverage details and premiums. Ask, does this align with my current needs? Call your agent or a trusted friend to discuss. Helen, the neighbor I mentioned earlier, did this and found a billing error that refunded her $2,100. Turns out, she said, Stoicism isn't just about thinking, it's about doing. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one insurance policy this week and give it a Stoic audit. Then come back here and tell me how it went. Your stories inspire this community more than you know. If this video helped you, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. Together, we're building a life of clarity, courage, and calm. No more insurance headaches. And remember, my friend, as Seneca said, it's not that life is short, but that we waste so much of it. Let's stop wasting time on fear and confusion. Here's to your health, your wealth, and the quiet confidence of knowing you're covered. Wishing you a joyful and fulfilling life at any age. Until next time, take care and keep thriving.